This is the story that has me fired up tonight, and it ought to have you fired up if you are a real American. Foreign money is buying our elections, and America, we need to wake up about this. This isn't right, left, center, blue, green. This is our democracy. The right-wing Chamber of Commerce is vowing to spend $75 million to impact the midterms. Okay, they're getting the money. And as I told you last night, Think Progress launched an investigation showing the chamber funds its political attack machine and campaign out of its general account, which solicits foreign funding. New York Times editorial points out, quote, the chamber firmly denies the charge, saying its internal accounting rules prevent any foreign money from being used for political purposes. But because the United States Chamber is organized as a 501c6 business league under the federal tax code, it does not have to disclose its donors. So the full extent of the foreign influence on its political agenda is unknown. Hold the phone, man. What is going on here? If you don't find this absolutely appalling as an American, or if you're not even ready to question it, you better get your thinking cap on. The chamber is under no rules to disclose where the money comes from, so they can say anything they want. I don't buy it. And neither does Senator Al Franken of Minnesota. He wants the FEC to investigate and insist that foreign companies prove where the funds are going. Fair enough? Is that fair? All the righties are getting a boost from the chamber. They're looking the other way. So they're just playing dumb. Well, we don't know anything about that. Today, outside a fundraiser for Sharon Angle, a reporter caught up with Congressman Roy Blunt. Blunt has the full support of the chamber. Here's the exchange.
The Chamber of Commerce has admitted that it's accepting foreign money from businesses like the Bahrain Petroleum Company, and they're using that same bank account to run attack ads. Excuse me, Congressman Blunt, I have a membership application that the Chamber of Commerce is distributing in Bahrain, asking for funds for the same bank account, the same campaign account used to run campaign advertisements here in America. Do you have any comment on that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you think you should talk to the Chamber?
You know, I want to respond to the people that claim that we're nothing but a bunch of commie and pinkos and everything else that were out at that rally in Washington, D.C. last Saturday. If you are on the other side, explain why your guy couldn't at least answer the question. Explain how you feel about this, conservatives. I'm going to say this loud and clear. It is flat out dangerous that we don't know where the money is coming from and foreign countries are influencing our electoral process. President Obama, he tried to warn us about this in the State of the Union address when conservative Supreme Court Justice Sam Alito suggested that the president was lying.
Last week, the Supreme Court reversed a century of law that I believe will open the floodgates for special interests, including foreign corporations, to spend without limit in our elections. I don't think American elections should be bankrolled by America's most powerful interests, or worse, by foreign entities. They should be decided by the American people. And I'd urge Democrats and Republicans to pass a bill that helps correct some of these problems.
Couple of things here, folks. First of all, the president was absolutely spot on, called it before it happened. It's a tsunami of money that's now coming into America. And, of course, if you're on the side that's getting all the money and you keep your mouth shut, well, I challenge you. That's not American. Now, what about national security? What about defense contracts? Do you think foreign countries might want to build our stuff? Do you think it would hurt manufacturing even further? Do you think this will gut the middle class even more? Because what you'd have is you'd have foreign companies that would be going through the Chamber of Commerce, and they'd be saying, you know what, we're going to scratch the back of your guy, but we got to get this manufacturing and these jobs over at our place. And you know what, we'd like some of those defense contracts too. Damn, we got a global economy. We got us a global election right here at home. You know what we're doing now? We're fighting them here instead of over there. That's what we're doing when it comes to American jobs. We're fighting them right here at home. And on the other hand, would this discourage anybody from running? Maybe some good quality people across America that are thinking about public service? Think again there, big guy. You're going to outfund these people? It isn't going to happen. The liberals in this country have no chance of matching this kind of money. The machine is just starting to roll, and it is dangerous for this country. Now, We've seen 40 people in this country stand up and say no to everything. What do they say to this? They going to be quiet about this, or are they going to step up and be American and say this is wrong for our American elections? If you think the Chinese don't want to own everything we do, think again. Now they can own your congressman. Now they can own your senator. They can control who gets in and who gets out, because money is the root of all evil, even in politics. And the voice of the little guy in America is going to be drowned out so bad, we will not recognize our country. Give it about, 3 election cycles. That's what it's really going to take. About 3 election cycles, and we will see... we will see 0 clean energy people in the United States Congress, because the oil boys will make sure that ain't going to happen. The overseas oil interests will make sure there ain't going to be any clean energy people getting into Congress in the United States of America. Heck, they want to screw up our business. They want to hit our profit. They want to change things in America. We, as red-blooded Americans, ought to be furious about what is happening right now. It's a national security issue. It is a national security issue, and it's pretty damn scary, I think. Get your cell phones out, folks. I want to know what you think. Tonight's text survey question is, are you worried foreign money is influencing our elections? Text A for yes, text B for no to 622-639. We'll bring you the results later on in the show. Joining me now is Leo Gerard, International President of the United Steelworkers. Mr. Gerard, good to have you with us tonight. Maybe I'm overstating it. But no, I think this is a turning point for America. What do you think?
Ed, I don't think you're overstating it. Let me say categorically that this is outrageous. It's wrong. It shouldn't be tolerated. No other country on earth would tolerate this. The Chamber of Commerce is collecting from dozens of Middle East companies, dozens of Middle East oil interests. They're collecting from China. I was just reading. They're collecting from China, India, Egypt, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Russia, to name just a few. And they regularly put out what they call action alerts, telling those businesses in those countries that Democrats are trying to force local hiring, to trying to force local job creation, and encourage them to donate to them. This is outrageous. And the Chamber has been responding by saying, well, they put it in a general fund and they have processes. Let me say this. That's an insult to the average American's intelligence. If I put all the money in the pot, and the money that I used to pay for rent, or I used to use to pay for coffee, now I don't have to pay for that. I can use my foreign money for pay for coffee, and that releases my money to run attack ads. Who do they think they're kidding? This is an insult to America, and they should be held accountable. They should be made to say every single donation from every single country, from every single company, America's not for sale to the Chamber of Commerce or to foreign corporations.
Mr. Gerard, what do you make of the Chamber's response that the money goes into a general fund because of the way they're set up with the federal tax code? There really is no way of tracking this. Do we not take their word for it?
It's not a matter of taking their word for it. That's an insult to our intelligence. Money's fungible. So the money that I used to use to pay for coffee or used to pay for rent, to rent my buildings, I no longer have to use that. I can use the foreign money if that's what they're saying. Then I release my money to do attack ads. Up till September the 15th, they had done 8,000 attack ads on Democrats with foreign money. Now, that's an insult, and America ought to be outraged. Every Republican who's having that happen should stand down and should be defeated.
Leo, will this set the table for a fast track of outsourcing of jobs? Because a lot of these foreign countries will come and say, look, we're going to back your guy. This is where we want to go. Backdoor deals being made. But, we really want this manufacturing site in our country. Is that a bridge too far? What do you think?
No, it's not a bridge too far. In fact, what the U.S. Chamber of Commerce has been doing, as many of us have been fighting to bring jobs home. You'll remember that every Republican voted against bringing jobs home. While we were doing that, the Chamber was sending action alerts to China and to India and to Egypt and to Russia and to countries all over the world in the Middle East, saying that Democrats were trying to force local hiring at the expense of your jobs. Donate so we can help you.
Yeah.
And they're attacking American workers. They're attacking American politicians who want to bring jobs home by recruiting money from foreign corporations and foreign countries. Ed, this is an outrage. When I was a young man, I never thought I'd see America come to this, where the U.S. Chamber of Commerce was working against America.
Amazing stuff. Leo Gerard, President of Steelworkers, good to have you with us tonight. The story continues here. Bill Halter, Lieutenant Governor of Arkansas, joins us tonight, who was in a primary fight against Senator Blanche Lincoln and had a lot of corporate money thrown at him. I want to play this commercial. More money in a campaign forces a candidate to defend his or herself by outlandish type of accusations. Here's one of them.
Thank you, Bill Halter. Thank you.
While millionaire Bill Halter was a highly paid director of a U.S. company, they exported American jobs to Bangalore, India.
Bangalore needs many, many jobs. Thank you, Bill Halter.
With almost 65,000 Arkansans out of work, we need jobs too.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill Halter.
Bangalore says, thanks, Bill Halter. Arkansas, tell Bill Halter, thanks for nothing.
Now, the irony of this, folks, is the corporate candidate in that race was Senator Blanche Lincoln, not Bill Halter. Bill, what about all that?
Well, the fact is, Ed, that ad was paid for by a shadow group called Americans for Job Security. They have routinely intervened in general elections on behalf of Republican candidates against Democrats. But to our knowledge, this was the first time that this Republican shadow front group intervened on behalf of a Democratic candidate against another Democratic candidate in a primary. I also believe you won't be seeing them in the general election. They did the damage they wanted to do in the primary.
Okay. You're on a mission to try to change this. What do Democrats do? You can't match the money, can you?
I think you have to demand full disclosure. I haven't met a single Arkansan, I haven't met a single American who wouldn't want to know where the money is coming from and just demand full disclosure. You can't possibly get to the motivation that's driving contributions to candidates if the contributors are anonymous. How can voters know why these ads are being placed? The Americans for Job Security, other groups like it, they're simply political hit shops funded anonymously.
Mr. Halter, would you go so far to agree with me that this is the end of the little guy having a voice in our democracy? What do you think?
Well, I got to tell you, it certainly puts the balance in favor of somebody who can spend millions of dollars personally or millions of dollars out of one organization, especially if you don't even have the counterbalance of knowing who they are and thereby being able to ascribe why they're doing it.
I think this is going to discourage a lot of people thinking about public service.
I think it's one in a trend of things that's going to drive good people out of seeking public office. It's a real tragedy, Ed, and you know, the only way we're going to reverse this is for the American people to demand that it be reversed.
Bill Halter, Lieutenant Governor of Arkansas. I'm sorry Alabama beat Arkansas. Anyway,
you and me both, brother.
On a lighter note.